My name is Barsanti. I'm CEO and founder of StorageLife. If you want to learn more, go to our website at www.storagelife.com. Cool. Let's dive in. Today we're going to talk about building your buy boxes. And I don't mean to offend anybody. For those of you who love to post your buy box, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm sure even one of you out there have probably gotten a deal from it. I'm only teasing a little bit, but here's why. We are going to talk about why a buy box could be potentially killing your opportunity. And I mean it. I'm not even joking. So the buy box. I hate the buy box. There we go. I said it. I hate the buy box. Here's why. Now, I'm not saying that a buy box may not be a good idea. You're talking to a broker and you want to tell that broker or maybe a wholesaler, hey, look, I'm only looking in Indiana or I'm only looking in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I'm looking for 30,000 square feet and up. Keep me in mind. Cool. At that point, guess what? You now have created just a small, memorable criteria. So the broker may actually remember you or the wholesaler one day when they have a deal that's over 30,000 square feet in Colorado Springs and they're like, oh, cool, that's Cameron. The chances of that happening though are slimmer and more rare. And I almost think the buy box would only work if, or the only other time is if you're gonna target a non-storage broker and you're gonna hit them up and be like, hey, I'm looking in your city and can you pound the pavement for me looking for storage? And you give them a general criteria. Okay, cool, fine. We all have criteria, but otherwise, guys, guess what? A buy box is taking and putting your opportunity in a box. So here is the country, right? Here is the nation. And in our country, we have opportunity everywhere in cities, small cities that you've never heard of. That if you put in best 100 cities with great household median income, job growth, or population growth, none of those cities are gonna pop up. But guess what? Those cities, there might be a deal there that can make you $1 million. So I'm posing the question, why would you not buy there? If I'm in Poconoa, Alabama, there's a facility there that's mismanaged that you can buy at a deep discount that's gonna make you $1 million. Why would you not buy it? If you would buy it, great, but then are you looking for that deal? No, you're probably not because you've created a buy box. And on top of the buy box, don't even get me started about the buy box. You post on Facebook that here's your buy box. People aren't gonna bring you a deal. They might, never say never. There's a chance. Everybody out there is looking for a deal. That's the game. Self-storage is not easy, but it can actually make you a multi-millionaire. It can retire your spouse and yourself over and over and over again and set up even your kids' future as it's done for me and my wife and our kids. We can live anywhere we want in the world because of self-storage. But these deals, they're everywhere and you have to look everywhere. So stop boxing yourself into opportunity. So let's break this down a little bit further. So I have people that there's a buy box. Where should I look? What market should I go in? Look everywhere. I'm gonna rattle off some cities that I own in or have bought in. Hanford, Porterville, Claremore, Kissimmee, Los Lunas, Alamogordo, Florence, Granite City. You guys ever heard of any of those cities? Maybe one or two, maybe not. Those are just some of the places I own in. Guam, how about that for a buy box? These cities, guess what all of them have in common? They have terrible stats. Low household median income, hardly any population growth. You've never heard of them. They're crap holes. You never would want to live there. Nobody's looking at them. Granite City, it reminds me of literally Gotham City. I'm not even joking. I've made millions of dollars in these cities. How about this? California. I bought in California. California doesn't cash flow. There's not opportunity in California. Nobody looks in California. We made $4.1 million in 12 months in California off 2 facilities in crappy cities, Porterville, terrible demographics. But guess what? You know why we found the deal? Because we didn't have a buy box. We were looking everywhere. Because I don't buy lists, we build them organically through our VA team. So instead, even though I want to own 50,000 square feet and up, I look for 30,000 and up. And if I hadn't been doing that, I would have not found these deals because we don't limit ourselves. We don't limit the opportunity. We let the opportunity tell us whether we're going to buy or not the buy box, not the criteria. criteria. Don't get in your way. Look for low-hanging fruit all over the country. Shotgun approach is what I call it. Look everywhere. If that deal's gonna make you $1 million and it's in China, buy it. You'll figure out how to remote manage it. I'm serious. Stop limiting yourself. Look everywhere. Now, I will say, I don't look in areas that are under 10,000 population, typically 15. But other than that, if it's a crazy declining population, I won't buy in. But I look everywhere. And a lot of times, I don't know what that market looks like, but I'm looking there. And then if I find the opportunity, then I'll evaluate the deal, okay? I'll give you some more tangible examples. I blocked up a deal in Mississippi in an area, I can't even remember what it was called. I'd never heard of it. It was declining. It was oversaturated. And we made $235,000 on a wholesale fee. Was it worth looking there? Of course it was. You guys know I'm a huge fan and proponent of building a funnel. If you build a deal funnel, if you're looking in 3 to 5 states or markets, there's not a whole lot of extra effort to look everywhere. It's going to cost you a little bit more money. But if there's an opportunity that nobody else is looking at and you find it because you're looking in more places and it's going to make you a lot of money, then do it, right? The more places you're fishing, the more chances of you catching fish. It's true. Look everywhere. Don't be scared. Now, if you're a developer and you're developing $10, $15 million projects or projects that are based on consistent job growth, population growth, and you're spending a lot of money and you want to go into Phoenix and Austin and maybe to San Antonio, whatever, cool. I understand that. At that point, your criteria is probably laser focused. It's definitely limited and you know what you're doing. But we're talking about the majority of us. We just want to keep buying low-hanging, deep discounted fruit from mom and pop to make a lot of money. Okay, so instead of building a buy box, concentrate on building a funnel and look everywhere and get good at looking at as many deals as possible. And eventually you're gonna find an opportunity, you're gonna evaluate that opportunity. And if it's a great opportunity, you're gonna either buy it or you're gonna wholesale it. Look at Albuquerque, for example. A couple of the deals here, I made $1 million on the first deal we bought in Albuquerque. And that's just like an equity exit, right? But like we also had tons of cash flow on that deal. I 1031 that into a bigger property that Public Storage just offered me shy of $10 million for, a property we bought for $7 million a year and a half ago. I'm talking about these low-hanging fruit opportunities are gonna build you financial and experience and momentum that's gonna allow you to scale beyond your belief. Albuquerque is crazy high crime. If you look at Albuquerque from afar and you're looking at the stats online, dude, you're never gonna buy here. Is Extra Space gonna buy here? The best operator in the world? They're all over this place. There's more than meets the eye. Multifamily is probably a little bit different, and investing in general and large commercial and stuff, and you really are so fixated on nice job growth and population growth, fine. But we're in the game of buying mom and pop distressed facilities, and they could be anywhere and everywhere, all right? So you're gonna stop getting in your way. You're gonna stop overcomplicating things. I always run into people that have so many thoughts and ideas, and I wanna drive to my first property and I wanna see it. I promise you, if it's a good deal and there's a lot of equity, you're gonna figure out how to remote manage it. One of the best assets I ever bought was in Guam. Now, do I suggest buying in Guam? No, it was a nightmare. Plus, it's really, really, really far away. But my wife is from there, and so we go there. So for us, it made sense. Was Guam in my buy box? No, it was terrifying. Is it one of the best facilities we've ever purchased? Yes, 100%. I bought a deal in Tulsa that was in a rough, war zone. People thought I was crazy. That was the second facility. I over doubled my profit, tripled my profit, and that was a part of a 1031 that bought me the property that we now got an offer from Public Storage for. So those two tiny little base hits that made us about $1.5 million just in equity and cash flow are ending up going to actually make us close to $5 million just alone because we bought deep discounted properties. So how do we do this? Well, we look all over. I have a VA team. We do lots of cold calling. There's other ways of marketing. We are shotgunning across the country looking for sellers who want to chat, who want to look at our offers, who want to do deals by looking everywhere. And as we find that opportunity then fuels us to look at the opportunity, analyze the deal, analyze the situation, and decide whether we're going to buy it or not. That's it. If you can start focusing on creating more opportunity, that opportunity is going to allow you to keep pushing forward. It's going to give you the mentality, the small wins, talking to more sellers, looking at more deals. That is what fuels your career. The lifeline of your career is dependent upon one thing, your ability to find deals. That's it. Focus on deal flow, focus on looking for deals, and look everywhere you possibly can. Maybe stay out of cities that are under 10,000 population, even though I know people that have made good money in like even smaller places. They personally scare me a little bit, or severely declining markets. But otherwise, it's those fringy bedroom communities and those other little small areas out there that nobody's looking in, or hardly anybody are looking in, and REITs aren't looking in, and big operators aren't looking in, that can make you your first $1 million. I hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. We will see you next week. Good luck. Peace.